Hey PRCC fam. So I figured I would just send a little video out just to kind of, first of all, just to say thanks to you guys for, all the support. Thanks to the elders for unanimous support for allowing me to come on this journey, and for all of you guys who are just been so enthusiastically behind me. And so I'm here with my brother.
I'm going to cut you off and say I'm also thankful that your elders had unanimous support and that the congregation was supportive as well. So thank you from myself and my family as well.
So this is my brother, Trevor Littleton. Known him for quite some time now. He's a pastor out in Painesville, Ohio. And just kind of real brief, essentially what happened was that he just messaged on Facebook that a girl that he had hosted a long time ago was we were trying to get her across the Ukrainian border, and now she was going across the Ukrainian border, and he was getting ready to come over to Poland. I'm not sure exactly where she was or anything, but just to come over and try to get her. I didn't want my brother to have to take this kind of trip alone. So I figured that, my particular set of skills, or just being a willing hand to come and join him on the trip. So it's been a whirlwind since it all kicked off. So today is Wednesday, but we lost some hours and stuff too because of the time change. But it was real quick. Monday Saturday I should say, we start off. We got the plane tickets real fast, like last second. And then Monday we kind of kicked it off and came out here. And so it was Monday afternoon we left, and it took, of course, forever to get here. It was a very interesting trip, to say the least, because we had to get a lot of things that we weren't prepared for. Oh. So it was definitely a very exhausting journey, and one that took it took about a day to get here. So yeah, but we made it. We were kind of worried a few times about whether or not we were going to get past customs, not alone because of it's just being me, but also just because everything that they're required, especially when it comes to kind of COVID stuff. Yeah. So, but by God's grace, I think He just started opening up a lot of doors, and I almost thought I was going to get detained at the Polish airport, and fortunately they just waved me on through. They acted at first it was going to be an issue, but then they just passed me through. So a huge blessing by God, I think, in a lot of this. And then immediately we were able to get a car to take us to where his daughter was. So, worked through the hotel here. They got us. They were able to get us a ride, and we went, dropped our bags, made a quick phone call, and then we were on our way. And so we were able to get down to this camp called Camp Proim. And it's about an hour and a half away. And so it was really awesome because we just didn't know it. We were hoping, we were told that's where she was. We had some evidence that's where she was, but kind of the anxiety of maybe not knowing that she is truly there. And we're rushing there. Awesome. Stanley, the awesome driver, sped just about as.
He was great.
I think he kind of knew our mission. He was definitely breaking the sound barrier.
He had helped several refugees himself, so he had so many stories of other refugees he had already driven. So right. He was in the zone, man. He
was. Well, the funny part was that he was talking about how his daughter was that lives with him was continually bringing refugees from the main train station. We actually visited there today. We'll get to that. But she actually took the refugees, and they were pretty much sleeping on his couch. So it's really interesting getting to talk Stanley's perspective of things and about how much the Polish people are giving. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am truly blown away by the people of Poland about how much they truly care about the least of these. And so I think there's ever a God moment or a God sign, it's to watch these individuals who are giving everything that they have to take care of the Polish people. Take care of the people from Ukraine, and I'm blown away by their generosity. I'm blown away by their care. Blown away about how they do not see nationality as an issue or begrudges from past wars, and the only thing that they see is they just see people in need, and they're stepping up in absolutely huge ways, and we're going to get to that. But yeah, so then. We were able to get her, and so if you just want to walk us through, we get to Camp Proim Tuesday Tuesday night. Oh my goodness, it was Tuesday. Yeah.
Right.
So pretty much right as we got into a Tuesday, as we got in, about 4:00 in the evening, we dropped our bags, got and immediately our only thought was get a ride. We did get out there, and then what was going through your head? I mean, we're pulling up.
Don't cry. No, there was a lot. Yeah, I mean, there was the mystery of it. You don't know how well you can trust people. If we're doing all this by blind trust, pretty much by everything else here, and it just shows you how. I think the lesson I've learned through this has been God's sovereignty. Is how God has orchestrated so many details. I mean, quite literally hundreds of details. From when we learned, hey, she's finally going to head to the border, until when we acquired her. There just were so many moments that were solidifying, and that was one of them, because that camp, it was just a random contact with my wife that she had from her childhood that she's kept in touch with over the years, and they messaged us like, hey, we have a place in Poland if she needs to stay. It's a really good place. You don't know if you can trust these people, and what's going on there. There's so much happening at the border, and orphans are the most vulnerable demographic in the globe. So there's a lot of concern. So we get there, we find the camp. I think my emotion at the time was like numb and don't cry, which I'm not one to cry a lot and everything there. It's not me. But I was a wreck because this girl had been in our home and we've talked to her for years, and so when we tried to adopt her, we were not able to because of her age. So it was what it was. So we kept in touch over the years. But oh my goodness, it was a reunion of being in person together for quite a while. But then just the whole thing, it was like, okay, we've got one. We've got her. We're safe. We're secure. So whatever happens moving forward, this part here is good. And our mission, I mean, we've succeeded at this stage. There's still more work to do, but we've come to this stage. So if God is shepherding us through here, level 1 complete. Right.
So we got to Proem Camp, and the staff there are absolutely phenomenal. And a lot of course, this ministry is actually a partner tied in with, in some form or fashion, with Polish Christian Ministries, which is, of course, one of our global partners. And so it was great actually getting to meet them firsthand and to seeing the kind of organization they are, to see the kind of work they're doing, and how many people, because I think how many people did they say that they were?
They'd have 200 refugees so far.
Yeah, just at that camp alone. And so it was phenomenal actually just getting to hear them. And I mean, I was tearing up and getting emotional, I think, when I saw, of course, you and Dasha meet again for the first time. And I'm shaking with the camera, right? And I'm not normally that shaky, but I was kind of a little shaky getting to film that whole process. And then right after that, when I got to talk to one of the directors, she was, I mean, absolutely phenomenal in her approach, and about how much she was just giving God the glory, and how much she was talking about, their different needs and stuff, and the different things that they were offering, and then also how potentially we can, better support them in the future. And so, and I'm going to be bringing back some of that with the church. So, get her back, and then in that moment, I mean, talking about you were a little teary-eyed here and then, and then people there, I mean, they actually seem to really like her as well.
Yeah, she was helping them and helping out with everything, and because she speaks so good. She speaks Russian very well, so they needed some of that help as these Ukrainian students were coming in. And they were able to kind of work with her. So another Russian-speaking adult there, because she's 21. So another speaking adult there is really good. So
just getting to be able to do that. So that was really cool, and that was a huge emotional event. And I said, and when we got to fellowship and then pray with the different directors and the lead pastor Daniel that's there, and getting to hear more of his story, man, I'm just talking about just a tremendous group of people. The next step especially for Trevor and Dasha, is to get her back to the States. So that was kind of our main mission, that you guys allowed me and gave me the support to come on, is to make sure that Trevor was able to meet up with Dasha, and then to help out potentially anybody else. And so we're in contact with some different families and those things, and nothing yet really has panned out the way we were kind of hoping to with some of the things. But I mean, it's a war situation, so everything is fluid and constantly changing. So we don't know if we could be in the middle of this video and get a call and saying, "Hey, we got somebody, and can you run to the border?" And so we're kind of just at the will and mercy of God's will and God's plan. So that's just kind of step one. So mission one, at least about getting her and getting her to make sure she was, safe and back into your arms. Is huge. And so we just thank God for that. I mean, we have a girl, she's actually right now, she's in the other room while we record this. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's just crazy because, I mean, I just think about that concept of, I mean, she's, was in a place where she was really worried. She wasn't, she knew some people out there loved her. But, would they really, travel across the globe to come and, just to make sure that she was safe? Because if nothing else, it's just to get over here, just to make sure that she's being taken care of. She's set up well. She's got the right things, and then hopefully to get her back to the U.S.
And let's preface too, this is an orphan girl. So this was a girl who was orphaned young. Her mother had passed away from the war back in 2014 when Russia started flirting around with some of this stuff. Then her mother was killed in that transaction, so she becomes an orphan by default. So the orphans are the least of these. I mean, they are the ones who truly are. They are the most vulnerable. But emotionally speaking, who's going to love me? Who's going to take care of me? So showing an act of love, she now knows here are men who are willing to risk everything to come and bring me out of a dark situation. Here is the church who supported you guys as a church, my own congregation as well, who have supported this endeavor. So this is a way of the love of Jesus is just echoed and radiated all over this situation where here's a girl who's really feeling what it is to be truly loved, to be adored, to have people going after her.
So stick around. We got part 2 coming up. We'll kind of talk about just a couple things from today and then maybe some way forward. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.